A comparison between Western science and Buddhist teachings can provide a more profound knowledge of how the emerging emotions can emerge and how to deal with them, also in order to describe new and common models of mental health. By way of metaphor, we could say that the fight against mental automatism and the development of human qualities sought to rehabilitate personal knowledge is a way to make sure we never need to build the empathy box, the technological device in Philip Dick's novel Do Android Dream Electric Sheets that enable its ambiguous protagonist, androids who prove more humanity than humans themselves, to feel emotions like those generated by empathy. An empathy box, he said, stammering in his excitement, is the most personal possession you have. It's an extension of your body. It's the way to touch other humans. It's the way you stop being alone. Thank you.
So, Sara, you entitled your presentation Technology and Emotions. Why emotions have to be so important?
I think that in the school overall, emotion, irrational part of the mind took off from the school. And then this part of the brain dominated us. And I use it from the power to dominate us. Because the power we utilize the emotional side to enter in our body. Is what I think that in the school we could introduce some class to improve attention, to improve capabilities to make observation of the inner side.
I think it's interesting that in science, cognition and emotions are not separated hardly at all. It's really totally related in many ways.
Tomorrow I will present.
Yeah. But I just thought it was interesting on the line of this, recently, last night I saw the news, the 13th Buddhist monk has just lit herself on fire, as a protest about the desperation she has, of course, of Tibetan identity. And I think it's interesting that, that Buddhism actually challenges us to perhaps see the relation between our emotions more clearly. But actually, when desperation hits, emotions come very much clearly into the foreground. And so there's a big difference, I think, between the general idea of emotions and how they're analyzed, and this sort of desperate reactions that emotions bring.
Okay. Thank you. Is there a question? No, just accept.
Well, I think, have you been following this have you been following the news on this?
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
In the last year, there's been 13 Tibetan monks that have been
yes, they call up. Yes,
they
of
have,
course. Yes.
That's right, self-affiliation.
Yes, I know.
And I think that's what I'm just thinking, it's an interesting point to make, that actually in the level of desperation you have a very different reaction.
In some concept faith, no? The compassion concept, for example, is quite difficult to apply to the life. So in some aspect it's fine, but I'm following this issue between Buddhist and Chinese power fight.